Hey there, folks. I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Oral Reports. As you can see, I'm not really in a good mood today, mainly due to what I'm going to be blogging. As we all know, no company, including Disney, is immune from making a movie or an episode that is labeled under the bad category. And ever since I began my Sofia the First Memory Lane marathon, I was a tad hesitant to watch this episode again. But because this marathon was requested by several subscribers and commenters, I have no choice. So, let's just get this over with already. Airing on television on February 8th, 2013, this is a royal mess. So, in this episode, the Golden Wings Circus has arrived in Enchantia, and the children really want to go. But when Prince James accidentally breaks a giant stained glass window while playing ball in the castle, he and Sofia attempt to hide it while Amber distracts their parents. However, as soon as King Roland and Queen Miranda find out, Sofia takes the blame for James and she gets grounded. So, my thoughts? Well, out of all the episodes from Princess Sofia's first season, this is the absolute worst out of all of them. And to further explain why I do not like this episode, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, unfortunately, there's not a lot of trivia to talk about, but we could talk about the episode's moral. Though I think it's best if my good friend Freddy Fish explains.
When we do something wrong, we have to face up to it. Trying to cover up only makes things worse.
That's right. And to me, while this lesson is very serious, it kind of brings back memories not only from one of the Berenstain Bears books, but it feels like a lesson that Princess Una had to learn when she accidentally created a sea twister in Return to Merowe Cove. And that episode was so much better than this one. Plus, do you guys know who else got into a messy situation and got it right? Riley, during the beginning of Inside Out. And that moment created her Honesty Island. Still, on the positive side, the animation is still awesome. I mean, it's Toei-on after all. They do a wonderful job with the CGI animation ever since Sofia's show began, especially with human characters, animals, and other creatures. However, with this episode, well, I do like how the animators designed the royal family's new stained glass window, which for some reason gives me Beauty and the Beast memories. And I think the Golden Wings Circus show is really amazing. Oh, speaking of which, there's a song in this episode called Golden Wings Circus, sung by Amber and James while they tell Sofia how amazing the circus is. And to me, this is a really whimsical song, especially when they mention stuff like a singing tiger, magical penguins, and dancing unicorns. Plus, this song gets a reprise at the ending. And now on to voices, as if it'll improve my opinion. Our main character, Prince James, is voiced by Zach Callison, who played King Tut in Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Now, in my eyes, while James has been a very supportive character in the pilot and in a few other episodes, which is what I like about him, but I did also state a while ago that there are times when James lets his playfulness get him in trouble, just like what happens here, when he accidentally breaks the stained glass window while juggling, especially after his dad, King Roland, told him that playing ball indoors is not allowed. Seriously, James. And what's even worse, James tries to cover up his mess so he does not miss out on the circus. Next we come to Princess Sofia, voiced again by Ariel Winter, who voiced a young Kyrie in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Marina in Jake and the Neverland Pirates, a couple of Thumper's sisters in Bambi 2, and Smurf Lily in Smurfs the Lost Village. To me, like in most episodes, Sofia has a good sense of right and wrong, and she tries reminding James to not play ball in the castle, and she tries to convince James to tell their parents the truth about what happened. But after Roland and Miranda find out, Sofia decides to stand up for her brother and take the blame. And while that was nice, it was still a white lie. Princess Amber is again voiced by Darcy Rose Byrnes, whom was in Desperate Housewives and Spirit Riding Free. Now, normally in the show, Amber seems to be the most responsible due to her being the oldest of the royal children. However, in this, after James's accident, she decides to help by stalling King Roland and Queen Miranda by playing her harp and showing off her newest tiara. Next we come to King Roland and Queen Miranda, whom are voiced by Travis Willingham and Sarah Ramirez. In this episode, Roland is hoping to show Miranda the new stained glass window, and he has Bailiwick arrange tickets for the circus. Later, when he and Miranda see the shattered window, they send Sofia to her room, but when James admits his mistake, they have a little, family discussion with the kids about the importance of honesty. Finally, we come to Cedric the Sorcerer, voiced by Jess Harnell, aka Wacko Warner from the Animaniacs series. Now to me, Cedric's role in this episode may not add much, but it is pretty funny. You see, when James asks Cedric for help to fix the window, Cedric sees it as an opportunity to steal Sofia's amulet by casting a spell that'll put small objects into his grasp. Unfortunately, Cedric's spell hits the stained glass window and he's pulled right into it. And while that was pretty funny, that scene brought back memories from a certain game I played during my second grade year.
Into the mirror.
And now for my final words. Overall, A Royal Mess was okay, but still the absolute worst episode in Princess Sofia's first season. While the animation is still good, the Golden Wings Circus song was whimsical, Cedric's role was pretty funny, and Sofia took the blame for her brother, which was sweet. The plot is absolutely predictable. The main character, James, was stupid for avoiding responsibility, and Amber didn't help by distracting her parents. Despite some good things, this is still the series' first bad episode. So, I'll have to give this episode a low score of 40%. Well, thank goodness we're done with this mess. But we're not done with this memory lane marathon just yet. Because, next, we're going to go over the episode which introduced us to the then shy and music-loving Princess Vivian, Mustang Power.